Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, YouTube? One thing I've been asked about a lot is HIDs. HID stands for high intensity discharge. At a high intensity, it will discharge a bright light. You know how you see on a Mercedes or a BMW, Audi, some of the higher end model Chryslers. When you're on the freeway or you see them coming down the street, they have that really bright, almost bluish hue to a light, and that's their headlight, and that's an HID light. Well, those high-end cars, they use like a xenon gas, but anyways, same principle. So they sell kits online which will allow you to replicate that, and this is an HID kit, and we're going to install one on the X18. So when you get your kit in the mail, it arrives like this. Okay, get this here, get this, and you get that. Okay, so inside here is your bulb. There's two of them because the kit isn't actually made for a motorcycle. It's made for a car. That's why there's two bulbs, and there's two ballast, which is this, and two of these wires. But anyways, so you see it right there. So this is your bulb. Take that out, put this one here. So this is your bulb. Now when you order these, what you do is they'll ask you what Kelvin color and what type of bulb. So Kelvin color, that means like how bright, not really how bright, but what color you want the bulb to be. The higher the number, the more bluish it'll get. Watch, I'll grab and I'll get a good example for you. Okay, so when you order, they're gonna ask you what color, what number, what Kelvin color. That's why there's a K. There's 3,000 and it looks like that. 5,000, it looks like that. 6,000, it looks like that. 8,000, you know, and then you go 10,000 K, it looks really blue. And then a 12,000 K is like almost purple, and then that one, 30,000 K, that is damn near purple. So anyways, they'll ask you what Kelvin color. So in my case, I got the 8,000 K. Now I bought mine on eBay, but you know, they'll ask you during checkout or to put it in the notes of PayPal. So I got an 8,000 K, which is this one. So mine should replicate that. And it's extremely bright. I've tested it. I mean, you can kill vampires with this shit. I swear to God, it's like having the sun on the front of your bike. It's like that thing that Iron Man has on his chest. So they're gonna ask you the Kelvin color, and they're gonna ask you what style bulb, because depending on what car you have, like Honda's bulbs don't look like this, or an Acura bulb looks different, or a Mercedes bulb looks different. And in this case, I just asked for a 9005. It doesn't really matter because it's not going in a car anyways, but if it were going in a car, you'd need one specifically for your car. Anyways, I got a 9005, 8,000 K. So this is the style, is a 9005 and an 8,000 K, and that's the color that I wanted it. So anyways, and this right here is your ballast. This is what'll take your 12-volt battery off of your car or your pocket bike in this case, and it will convert it and change it to enough power to power this light. So it'll run on 12 volts coming off of here. So what happens is this plugs in there. Once it plugs in like that, then you know this will run off your light assembly, the red and black. On your light assembly where the headlight is, it's blue and green. So you cut off of that. The blue would be power, so in this case it'd be red, and the green would be the ground, in this case it'd be black. And then that would go inside here, and then you have your ballast, and then you plug your bulb right in here, like that. And then you put this inside the headlight housing. So anyways, I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna get everything ready on my light assembly here. And you know, the big problem, the big issue everyone's been saying is what'll happen is once you put this inside here, it'll melt it because this thing gets so damn hot. And it's true, it will melt it. So what some people have been doing is taking a drill and drilling holes, you know, in the bottom side here or around or up top to try and keep it cool. Me, you guys know me, I'm crazy. I'm gonna go one step further. Talking with Don Juan, who's actually a subscriber, we were bouncing ideas back and forth, and we came up with why not put a little PC fan? If you think about it, if you have a DVR or an Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3 or a computer, laptop, what do they all have inside? A fan. And the fan isn't blowing air in, it's sucking the heat out and blowing it out. That's why if you feel in the back of your Xbox or PS3, it's warm. So I went to Fry's Electronics. It was about $6 for this small fan. It's a 40 millimeter by 40 millimeter by 10 millimeter. And my plan is to cut inside the bottom of the housing, put this fan there, and power it. So when the light comes on, it cuts on. So, here it is, and then here's a quick test. So this one spins 7,000 revolutions per minute. So that's 7,000 RPMs, revolutions per minute. So my plan is to cut in here, stick it in here, and that way it'll pull the heat out. Same as it would your Xbox or something like that. Now, let's say in order for this to melt, it needs to get to 200 degrees, hypothetically speaking. But with that bulb in there, it'll get to 200 degrees with our new H.I.D light. But let's say this fan works, and let's say it pulls out enough heat so it's only at 170 degrees. So it's making it cooler by 30 degrees, let's say. Well, then, that's a job well done. Mission accomplished. All we need to do is keep it cool enough so this won't melt. Because if you don't have holes or something, it will melt this and it'll turn this into a gummy bear. Trust me. So that's my plan. That's what I'm gonna try to do today. As I go through the steps, I'll check back in and I'll let you guys see how I'm doing. I'll let you know where I'm gonna mount the ballast. We're gonna go through it all, but I got this on eBay. eBay is your friend, trust me guys. So if you go on eBay right here and you type in, where's eBay? Type in H.I.D, see I've already typed it in for you. And you'll see a whole bunch of them, H.I.D kits, H.I.D kits. $36, $35, $38. And they all come with two because they're meant for cars. So you and a buddy can split it. 35 divided by 2, that's no big deal. And because you're not gonna need two of them. All right, so I'll check back in a little bit. And let's get this H.I.D going. Okay, really quick, I've had a little soldering party, if you will. Okay, so you remember off the front light assembly housing, your colors are there. The blue is your headlight. Right here. The blue is your headlight. Remember it was going to your headlight right here, the blue and green. So here's the bulb, the blue and green. So I cut that. Blue is positive, green is negative. So in this case with the new H.I.D light, red is positive and black is negative. So we got to hook the red to the blue and the black to the green. So that's what we did right here. The blue goes to this yellow one because I'm actually going to install a fuse just in case. I'm going to install a 30 amp fuse and I got this from AutoZone. And I just added it here from the blue to the red that's going to plug into the ballast, which is this right here, and then from the ballast to your light. So anyways, I'm gonna install a fuse, so that's why this yellow thing is here. But if the yellow thing wasn't here, it'd go from the blue to the red, and then on this side, the green to the black. Green, black. So anyways, I soldered them all so they're not coming loose. Not at all. I like soldering because then I know once I made these connections, nothing's gonna come undone. So now I'm gonna start cutting in here. What I'll probably do is hit it with a big drill bit that I got. And then after that, I'll slowly kind of shave it away. As I'm working on it, I'll come back. The reason why I'm cutting in and out is because I know these videos can't be longer than like 15 minutes or something. So I'm trying to give you as much as I can. So now I'm gonna cut in here, and I've also attached my fan to the positive and negative. Little fan right here, I attached it to the positive and negative off the light assembly, which was blue and green, remember? So red and black went to blue and green. So anyways, I'm gonna start working on this, and then once I have it nice and snug in there, I'll come back. Hey guys, it wasn't going fast enough with the drill, so I'm gonna hit it with the Dremel. Last little bit, I wanted you guys to see it. So, it's a square, and here's a piece. So, you know, I tried hitting it with the drill, it just started shaving it off. I didn't like it, so hit it with the Dremel a lot faster. And let's see how that fan fits. Okay, let's see if we got that fit now that I cut it. Because that's what we want. We want it to suck the heat out and push it out. So we don't want it blowing air in. That's it. That's the fit we want, right there. So you see it's in there, and that's how I'm gonna run it. It's already wired in. Any wires that you solder together, make sure you cover them with electrical tape so they're not exposed. But anyways, so now it's wired in, so when I cut the headlights on, the headlight will go on and the fan will cut on. Every time I cut the light on, the fan will go on. That's how I wired it. And then also for added safety measures, you know, better safe than sorry, I drilled a couple of holes in there, you know, one there, one there just in case, and one more up top. Be careful where you drill your holes. I'm gonna tell you now, be careful, because if you just start drilling holes all over and you're riding at nighttime, it's gonna be like a goddamn disco ball in your face. Remember, light's gonna be inside and it's gonna be trying to shine out. So the fact that it's going towards the bottom, towards the ground when you're riding on your bike, that's okay, that's fine. And then I put one up here, but I'll probably take some duct tape or something and just kind of block it off so it's not in my face while I'm driving. So yeah, I have some Gorilla Glue. I mean, that's a snug fit, that's pretty damn good. It's not gonna come out. But I'm gonna take some Gorilla Glue, kind of put it around the edges just for added measure, and then even cut off and take some duct tape and just kind of put it around and let that harden with the glue. And then I'll put the bulb in and mount that, and then I'll show you that. All right, okay, so that's the end result. I got the fan on the bottom, just in case I got a hole there, and I put one more up top. And then I Gorilla Glued and put one light screw in for my bulb, 9005. And then I put glue on the back of all this duct tape, so it's like, it's not moving now. So from the front, I'm just letting it dry a little bit longer. It's like that. So you see the fan in there, it'll suck the heat out. So I think we should be in good shape. It's late. And here's where I mounted the ballast in the front of the bike, right here. I put 2 zip ties, and on the back side of the ballast, because the kit comes with like 2 pads on the back side of it. I don't know if you can see right there, that little white pad on the back. It's adhesive on both sides. I peeled one side off and stuck it to the ballast. The other side I didn't. That way it still allows it to move a little bit when I turn the bike. The reason why I put it here is because this gets warm. I've ran it with the light for like 10 minutes and it's really warm. So if anything that's in the front of the bike, it'll catch the wind, no big deal. So I turned it so the back side of it faces out. So I just put 2 zip ties really tight. There's no way that's coming off. And as you can see, I can still turn with the bike. And then this will connect to the light on the housing on the front when the bike's all put back together. So now I gotta start putting my bike back together. But anyways, this is all done. But I'm glad I had the bike apart. All right, guys, I'll let you see what it looks like when it's all together. Yeah, really quick, guys, there you go. The light, super bright. It's working. You could hear the fan in there spinning around, sucking that heat out. There it goes. That's the way to go. It's gonna keep it cool. So now I got to put all my whole bike back together, but yeah, there's the H.I.D light, and there's nothing to worry about. It's not going to overheat. With the holes on top of that fan spinning at 7,000 RPMs per minute, it's just sucking all the heat right out of there. So yeah, me and Don Juan, who I believe is a subscriber as well, I know him personally, we went back and forth, and this is what we came up with, and I think this is the way to go for everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if I see people duplicate this, but this is the way to go, and this is running off the stock battery. No battery upgrade, no nothing. Alright guys. Okay guys, so I got the bike all put back together, and the H.I.D kit is working flawlessly, and let's take a look. So I got my bike all put back together, and the H.I.D kit is installed and it's working, and I just wanted to say this is the H.I.D kit working on the stock battery with the stock wires. You don't have to upgrade any of that like I had heard before, and there are other users that I've heard of excuse me, where they've just drilled holes in the plastic housing all around it to keep it cool. I went a step further and added the fan, but I have heard of guys just making big enough holes around it to keep it cool. Me personally, I didn't do it. I wanted to go this way, and but I've heard of other people that do that. And anyways, let's cut it on. I'll show you one more time. All right. So there you go. It's on, and there's the fan. And it works like a charm. And it's super duper bright. For those of you guys that may have questions about other things on my bike, check out my other videos. I'm pretty sure it's all there explaining everything. So, but there's the H.I.D kit. That is a 9005 bulb. And the color is 8000K. I got it off of eBay. Just type in H.I.D kit. You'll see them there. The one that I ordered was the one that came with the slim ballast. And that's because I knew I was going to mount it. Some of them come with a thicker ballast. I went with a slim one because that way I wouldn't have as much trouble mounting it to the bike. So there it is. It works great. Okay guys, so again, in closing, when you get your kit, it comes with this thing right here. This is called the ballast, and I ordered a slim kit, and that means the ballast is slimmer. You know, normally the ballast comes and it's like twice as thick, you know, almost like this, maybe a little bit thinner than this, but I went with the slim kit. That way it would be easier for me to mount to the bike. Other guys use the thicker ones, and you know, they're fine. So when you get it, it comes in this box, and remember, this kit is meant for a car, so you're gonna get two of them. So if you have a friend, you guys could split the cost. It's about 35 bucks. You shouldn't pay any more than $37. So anyways, you would cut off, just a quick recap on your headlight housing. You know, you'd take off the front mask, you'd have your headlight there, and then you'd cut the green and the blue. And then, you know, where the bulb is on the front. So you'd cut that. And then from there, you'd put on your red and black. So you'd cut these, splice the wires, expose them, and then attach the black to the green and the red to the blue. You know, positive and negative. On the X18, the blue in the front, the blue is positive and green is negative. So negative, positive. So attach those, and then, you know, twist them and solder them. And then, so that would go from the front of the bike. You know, you just attach it to the red and the blue, where the headlight was, because you just cut it. That would go into here on the ballast, and then you'd mount this on the bike, and then from the ballast would go to your light bulb, which is inside here, which is your bulb. And then in here, you know, you attach red to red, black to black, positive and negative, and then you mount that inside the headlight housing. Remember to either make a lot of holes. I didn't go with holes. I put a fan. Either make a lot of holes, or you know, add a fan like I did to keep the heat out. If you don't, and you just put this light bulb inside, it's going to melt it. Period. So that's it. That's the kit. That's all that. And when you order, let me show you guys here. Okay, here's a good, I don't know if you guys could see that. Okay. When you order, they're gonna ask you to put in the notes of PayPal or when you email them if you order. So you go to eBay, type in H.I.D kit, which is really easy. Shopping, let's see, eBay, type in H.I.D kit, and then there you'll see a whole bunch of kits. I mean, you can't miss them. The most you should pay is $38, and they have different ones here. And try and look for a USA seller, because if you go from like Hong Kong or something, you know, it might be 2 weeks before you get it. So see how it says Slim H.I.D kit? That one right there, that's what I went with, the slim one. But it doesn't matter, they both do the same job. Some guys have different ones. So anyways, okay, so one thing they're going to ask you is bulb type. I ordered a 9005, like I said in the beginning of the video. That's just the style of bulb. It doesn't matter because it's not going in a car. But I ordered a 9005, and then they want to know what color you want the bulb, what hue. And that's called Kelvin color right there. Kelvin color. See? Kelvin color. Anyways, I went with a 8000K. So 8000K in a 9005 style bulb. And they have different ones. 10,000, 12,000. The higher it goes, the more blue, then finally to purple. But yeah, so that's what I did. It's not that hard. You just gotta go through the right steps so the front of your bike doesn't melt. One thing too, you probably hear that these H.I.D kits will drain the battery, and that is true. If you run these lights and the bike isn't on, just running straight off the battery, eventually it will drain the battery, period. So pretty much when the motor's running, use the headlight. If you do that, then you'll be fine. There's a small enough alternator on these X18s or your pocket bike where it'll charge the battery back. So as long as the motor's on, go ahead and use the light. But if you don't, and you just have the bike off and you think you're cool and all that stuff, and you just want the headlight on and you leave it on for, you know, an hour or something, it's gonna drain the battery, period. So I have it running off the stock battery, stock switches, stock wires. I didn't upgrade any of that stuff. I just attached it in the front and made all my connections, and it works. So yeah, you know, you guys leave comments or ask any questions, but I like it. It turned out good, and if you guys have any questions, just let me know. All right.